Salutations, everybody. My name is Shadara Quinn, and today I'm going to be discussing my thoughts on Woo Taewoon. And what I mean by discussing my thoughts on Woo Taewoon, I kind of more mean so the judgment he always seems to get from people. It's a lot of complaining, I guess. Alright, so Taewoon, a little bit of backstory on Taewoon, if you don't know who Taewoon is. He was born May 11th in 1990. Taewoon was born May 11th in 1990, and in South Korea, because he is a South Korean artist. And he was originally he trained to be in a K-pop group. And as of right now, I do not associate him with K-pop because he doesn't do stuff with K-pop. But when he first debuted, he was in a K-pop group. He trained in a K-pop agency. Anyway, so he was originally going to train with his younger brother Zico, who was the leader of Block B, almost said Big Bang, wrong group, and he left. Taewoon had ended up leaving. It was before they even debuted. He ended up leaving because he said in an article somewhere that the group seemed to focus on, management and everybody seemed to focus on getting the group centered around Zico, and I guess Taewoon didn't want it to be kind of awkward, so he just kind of left and he went with a different company. So with this different company, he ended up debuting in a co-ed group called Co-ed School, and that was in 2010. And then Co-ed School disbanded in 2011 because I guess there's some controversies. Some other people in the group, something happened with them, not with Taewoon. So the agency wanted to keep all the members in the group that were still there, and they separated them. So females were in a group called, I think, Five Dolls, and then Taewoon was the leader of a group composed of the rest of the males in the group called Speed, SPEED, Speed. So there was that, and they ended up debuting in 2013, and 2 years later in 2015, that's when Taewoon had ended up leaving Speed. And in 2015, I think it was 2014 actually, Royal Class became like, oh yeah, I read somewhere where Taewoon was a co-founder of this underground rap, music collective called Royal Class that he may have co-founded. And I'll leave links to YouTube pages and all this in the description so that you could find Taewoon, you could find Royal Class, you could find his mixtape. And speaking of, Taewoon had ended up, I think it was when he was with Royal Class, he ended up releasing a mixtape. And it was called I Need a Wing. And I'm sorry, I'll leave links to this stuff because this was an amazing mixtape, and I'll get into that later. But he ended up releasing a mixtape, and he's released a few singles here and there, but he hasn't really outside of being with these groups that he had debuted with. And so there's a lot, because he does a lot of behind the scenes stuff as well. He produces, he writes, I know he'll sing a little bit, he raps. He's really, really excellent and just brilliant at what he does. So yes, Taewoon ended up being on Show Me the Money season 4 and 5 back in 2014 and 2015, I believe. And that's where you could see a lot of judgment coming in from, which was ridiculous. And then, let's see, after Show Me the Money 5, I believe is when Taewoon ended up signing with his current label called Million Market. And that's, like I said, that's where he currently is. He signed with them, I'm pretty sure 2015. And yeah, he's doing really well with them. He's done really well with them. And Million Market, it's not K-pop. Like I've said, it's not a K-pop label. They just recently signed with as a sub-label under SM Entertainment. And I really hope that SM is just that kind of thing of they leave Million Market to let their artists do what they want at Million Market. And it just kind of helps them get funding and promotions. That kind of their artists can get more well known. So I hope this is a positive, and it really benefits Taewoon and Penameko and Suran, these people that are already at the label. So there's that. And then let's see, 2016 Taewoon ended up coming out with, I think Copy My Lyrics came out in 2016. I may be wrong about that, but 2016 I know FineApple came out, and I think Copy My Lyrics came out, and people were judging him on these things too. Whatever. And so after that, Taewoon ended up going on, it was cute because on the Million Market Vlive app, he ended up doing Anything for You by Woo Taewoon. It was really cute. And then, so he would do mukbangs, and he would do karaoke, and he would do different things, and it was just like, it would last about maybe an hour or so, you know, like at most an hour really. And it was just really nice to be like, oh yeah, he's just talking. He's a very open person, it seems, with a lot of things, from things I've seen translated, because it's kind of hard to get translations on Taewoon, but I digress. So there's that, and that lasted all throughout like the second half of 2016 up until I think February of 2017, and then after that, I don't really know what Taewoon did. Honestly, to be honest with you, I know he ended up joining Mix 9, which was a competitive show for trainees and stuff, because YG was going to come out with a group called Mix 9, but he never did. Where they at, though? Alright, but Taewoon was on there, and that was November of 2017. I think November 2017, and Taewoon participated in that. He did end up like getting eliminated and everything, but he did really well, because the first week he was in, I think he was in the top 9, which is amazing, and he had a low number, like rate where he stayed until he ended up getting eliminated, which, I mean, it happens, but he still did well. So, I think that's all I have on like backstory. Oh yeah. Taewoon ended up, he ended up enlisting in his mandatory military service as a public service worker in March 15th earlier this year, 2018. And I read somewhere where he may not be out until 2020, but you know, you got to do what you got to do. You got to do your job. Like, it is what it is, and everybody's still going to be waiting. So what else can you do? He's doing what he needs to do. All right, so I think that's enough backstory on him. I think that's about all I got for that. My thoughts now are based off of him being on Show Me the Money 4, Show Me the Money 5, Mix 9, just people giving him so much hate for no reason, it seems. You know, I've looked up Taewoon, and I've looked up, is he controversial? Like, has he done anything? I can't find anything on this. I can't find anything on Taewoon being controversial, like problematic. I have not seen anything. And if there is something that he has done, I would like to know. So if there's something, no, I heard he did this, and this, and you have facts on it, leave a comment and let me know what's popping. Also, let me know if you dislike Taewoon or if you like Taewoon. I want to know that stuff. Anyway, back to my thoughts on the judgment he receives. So when Taewoon was on Show Me the Money 4, people kept making fun of, oh, like, why is his rap style like this? Why is his flow like this? Why does he move like this on stage? Why does he, why are his facial expressions like this? So much just garbage, just just hitting him. And it was so ugly to me to think that people kept judging him because how he feels his music. If that's how he's on stage, he's grooving, like, that's what he's doing. I've seen a lot of people perform on stage, and they look, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, they've done like sillier things on stage, but people don't make it like negative. I don't see people making it negative. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, go ahead, do your thing. Like, that's how they doing it. But with Taewoon, for some reason, people just keep judging him. And I think a lot of the judgment that comes towards Taewoon and the negativity that people want to show to Taewoon and express to Taewoon, I don't like you, to Taewoon, is literally only because first off, he's not in the norm. The norm of like, oh, this is what, like, how a lot of artists are, and you have to be cool like this, and you gotta be like kind of like out there like this, like, you gotta, like, he doesn't really fit in like a separate category because he's just himself, and that's what attracts me to him musically. That's what really, like, I like about Taewoon, is he just seems like he's himself. I'm gonna make this is what I'm gonna do. And a lot of people are just giving him like garbage about, like, oh, well, why do you perform like this? Why do you wear this? All this crazy stuff. And so he came back on Show Me the Money 5 because he ended up getting eliminated from Show Me the Money 4. It was the part where they all had to, like, all the people are standing there in the room, the contestants, and the producer have to pick who they want. And Taewoon was the only one that wasn't picked, so he was eliminated. It's unfortunate, but I hope it was that thing of like, yo, like, I'm gonna learn from this, which it did seem to be, because Taewoon always has so much potential. You could see, like, the fire in his gut, you see the passion within him. So I think a lot of people judge him because of who his younger brother is, which is Zico. People, Zico's very well known. Zico is incredible with what he does because he raps and he produces, he sings. He does so much. He's multi-talented, just like Taewoon. You know what I mean? And so people, they see Zico's success, and because Zico's younger, I feel, they're like, why aren't you, Taewoon, as successful as your younger brother, Zico? because they have to, they both are very successful. Taewoon is just as successful as Zico. And they have two separate success. You know, Zico's successful in one thing and Taewoon is successful in another. They have their own success. Don't compare them. I don't think it's right to compare people's success because everybody's successful in their own ways. Everybody's successful in different things than somebody else. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of people judge him because of, you know, who his younger brother is, because Zico, and they like, oh, well, you debuted before him, why didn't you get anywhere? Like, be quiet. He's gotten a lot of places. He's gotten very far, and he's still going. He's still moving forward, and that's very important to remember. I don't like when people like, why are you judging somebody because of their success? Anyway, so he just gets a lot of negativity because of, I really do feel like it's because they compare him to Zico a lot. You see that so much, you know, and I've seen him have a lot of like international fans. Taewoon has a lot of international fans, and you know, people are like, yo, like, you know, Taewoon's great, and he is. He seems like a great person and everything. I remember Snoop Dogg being like, oh, you know, he's gonna get to the top, he's gonna make it, and I believe that. I believe Snoop Dogg, honestly. Like, Snoop Dogg's a prophet, like, right? But anyway, so Show Me the Money 5 came around, and you could really see how Taewoon was like, all right, I've improved. He, you know, you could tell he had actually practiced like his flow and his raps and everything he was doing, because he did do it a little bit differently, and he wasn't like moving as much as he did on stage. And I was like, okay, that's impressive that he's like worked on that and everything, because if you feel like you need to work on something, work on it, as long as you don't hurt yourself or hurt anybody else. So with that, with how Taewoon presented himself on Show Me the Money 4, and a lot of people took that negatively for some reason, I was gonna say was, I have watched performances of Zico, and I've watched performances of Taewoon, and I don't know why I said Taewoon, am I okay? And so I've seen performances of them both, and because they're brothers, they move similarly. That's what happens with my siblings, we move similarly. But what I don't understand is, they don't judge Zico for how he moves as they negatively judge Taewoon for how he moves. And I don't understand why. It doesn't make sense. If you're going to judge somebody for how they move, you just don't. Like, why are you judging people in the first place, honestly? But so, there's that. And then Show Me the Money 5 came around. And like I said, I think he lasted, oh my gosh, this was so annoying, because I saw people who didn't even stand Taewoon say, listen, you know, why did Doki do him like that? The producers did Taewoon wrong. Cracking jokes about him, saying all this garbage about him. He didn't do anything. He's rapping. He's doing what he's supposed to. And honestly, a lot of people are like, yo, like, I feel like Taewoon should have won that first round. You shouldn't have had 5 rounds in a diss battle. That's not a diss battle anymore, okay? Like, that's not how it works. It's dumb. So Taewoon had ended up going against Myeondo, I think that's his name. And Doki kept cracking comments, and it's like, you go out there and go out there and do the battle with Taewoon then. And be quiet. Otherwise, like, to me, it's like, Taewoon did well, and I think a lot of people didn't like the fact that Taewoon did well. I think, honestly, I feel like they brought Taewoon on Show Me the Money 5 as a joke. Like, why are you doing this? They may have done the same thing on season 4, because it's like, oh, season 4, Zico was a producer, and so they wanted to, like, drama. And it's like, stop comparing people. Stop comparing siblings, especially, because that really, really hurts. You know, that's that thing that's like, why aren't I as good as my sibling? You start thinking things that are like, you don't need to be thinking about. So there's that. And then, of course, you know, Taewoon ended up getting eliminated from season 5 because Doki decided, you know, not just Doki, but, you know, they kept deciding, oh, no, we can't choose who. We don't know who won this battle. Let's go again. Have another 15th round of it. Stop. Like, it should have stopped after the first. I can understand maybe a second one, but after the first one, like, I think they were upset because Taewoon clearly won it. I'm not being biased. I do think Taewoon kind of came a little bit more, but, like, both were really good. And that's why I can understand, like, a second round, like, okay, like, let's get it popping. But there's that. And then with Mix 9, YG a mess. that's not even anywhere a part of this video. I just want to say YG is a mess. He got lawsuits on lawsuits. Oh my gosh. So I just feel like a lot of people paint Taewoon negatively because, you know, with the public service, that's what it is, with the public service worker thing. He, you know, he had to enlist as a public service worker, and it's like, okay, do your thing. But I had done my research, because I'm like, what exactly is the difference, you know? Because Top from Big Bang ended up having to do public service work because of what happened last year with him. And they, like with Taewoon, it was like, oh, he came out, he's okay, yeah, you know, he's going to be enlisting in his mandatory military service as a public service worker. Okay, he's going to be doing his job. I didn't understand why people judged him, and maybe it's because I've grown up around the military, but like I didn't realize people judge public service workers in the military so bad. And apparently I read people were like, they view if you go in as public service, then you're not really in the military, you're not doing your duty, you're not a man, all this crazy stuff. And it's like, can you let him do his job? Like, what is going on? Why do y'all hate so much? Why are you filled with such rage and such negativity and such hate that you have to judge somebody because of who? At least he's going in. At least he's doing his service. At least he's quietly, peacefully doing his time. Unlike, you know, how some people they start wilding out. They start doing crazy stuff just to get out of the military, you know? But yeah, I think those are all my thoughts on that. Just, I don't understand why people are rude and judgmental. I think a big part of it is they keep comparing him to Zico. They keep comparing him to his younger brother, and they keep being, oh, well, Zico has this type of success. Why don't you have this type of success? And it's just, be quiet. just stop talking. Like, everybody has their own success in their own different ways. Everybody has completed things in their own different ways. I feel Taewoon is a great person. I have not seen anything bad about him. I really have not. And I've done my research. I have not seen anything bad on him. That's what it was. With copying my lyrics, oh my gosh, people sat there and they were like, he said the N-word. I'm like, he didn't say the N-word. Where did he hear the, where? And because I listened to the song, I was like, did he say the N-word? But listening to it more, I was like, okay, he didn't. It doesn't sound like he said the N-word. And apparently, someone who did a translation on it, like, I think, was it, oh my god, I don't even remember, Mnet, somebody that came out with the video, that somebody professionally done a translation on it, they purposely, it seemed, I read somewhere where somebody said they may have purposely put that he had said the N-word. He did not say the N-word, okay? And I was just like, oh my gosh, like, it's so crazy to me, because it's like, he didn't do anything. Like, this man's sitting over here doing his job, he's making music, he's doing what he loves, he's enjoying his life, and people just want to be negative for no reason. Because they criticized him on that. They criticized him on the fact that, that song, he didn't even do anything. Like, to me, it was different. It was different from what I was used to from his mixtape. Now, with his mixtape, it was amazing. His mixtape is so good. The translations that I had found were amazing on his mixtape of I Got a Wing, because he's talking about deep, real stuff. He really is. I love stuff like that. Like, yo, like, it was like darkness and this, and like, oh my gosh, I remember finding, I think it's just called 5 O'Clock. Like, oh my god, that's one of my favorite songs. And he used the Lupe Fiasco beat. What is it? Paris, Tokyo? I love that beat, and he did an amazing job on it. That's all I gotta say, okay? So, I think those are all my thoughts compiled in this video. I get annoyed thinking about stuff like that, because he is not problematic. He lives his life. He's doing what he's doing, and people judge him for what? But, you know, misery loves company. I said that in my last video talking about Logic. Misery loves company, and people are going to talk shit no matter what. All right. Thank y'all so much for watching and listening. If you like Taewoon, tell me the reasons why you like Taewoon. If you dislike Taewoon, tell me the reasons why you like Taewoon. I love discussions. I love knowing people's reasoning behind certain things. So just let me know. Let me know why you like Taewoon or you dislike Taewoon. If y'all have suggestions for anything, you know, for me to talk about and express my thoughts on, please leave the suggestions. I will, and it doesn't have to be music-wise or artist-wise or anything. It can be, how do you feel about, you know, lamps? What are your thoughts on lamps? What are your thoughts on, you know, paper and plastic? I'll do my research. I ain't got nothing better to do. So, all right. Thank y'all so much for watching. I hope y'all have a great day, and